Here's what the GOP looks like, chat. In more than 100 GOP midterm ads this year. Guns, guns, guns. Yesterday, we had a person from Georgia who says on the side of her campaign bus, guns, babies, Jesus. And said that there was no separation of church and state because the church runs the state of Georgia. This is a Sig Sauer, by the way. You can tell because the barrel upturns when it is got an empty magazine. Look at this. Pro-gun, pro-God, pro-Trump. David McCormick, patriot paratrooper. Guns, 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 guns. Christ. A Club for Growth poll of Wyoming at large shows Rep. Liz Cheney down 30 points to the Trump-backed Harriet Hagman in the August 16th primary. She is going to get flattened. The worst part of this is once Liz Cheney is flattened by this Trump supporter, she'll be given an anchor job in MSNBC where she tells us how progressive change isn't possible. I can't wait to see Liz Cheney get hired by MSNBC. It's going to be incredible. Can't wait to have every one of her fucking takes being the left flank of the Democratic Party now. I just thought that was funny. We called that, by the way. Now that it's like clearly obvious that all those people are political careers are pretty much over, everybody's like, this was so easy to see. But at the time she did that shit, I was like, her career's over. Does that mean the January 6th committee is done? The January 6th what? The irrelevance? The thing that the toothless Biden Department of Justice that wouldn't indict a hand sandwich? That worthless January 6th? The what?
So it is time for these elected officials to get off their asses and stop playing footsies with the gun lobby. Plain and simple. And because I am a mama, you know, most mothers, your kids never grow up technically. So 18 years old is way too young to be able to get a weapon, and certainly not an AR. Was it an AR-15?
It was a rifle.
Yeah, it was a rifle. What in the holy hell? And not that it's the gun owners. I mean, the young man purchased the gun legally. So now we're not talking about legal, illegal. We're talking about moral and immoral.
Right.
And it is immoral. And this infatuation that Americans have with guns, they act like it is the fucking holy grail. How many more babies have to die? Whether those babies are...
It's like, the question is, with all due respect to Nina, like, I get what she's doing. It's rhetorical for her. But the answer to that question is, it's how much money does Jeff Bezos need or Elon Musk need? The answer is more. There is no number of babies that'll die. There is no number of dollars that they could have that they'll be satisfied. You think if Jeff Bezos was a fucking a trillionaire, he would give a bathroom break to his warehouse workers? Wouldn't even cross his fucking mind.
Elementary school children and their teachers, and he shot his grandmother, or whether it's somebody's baby that's fully grown. What the hell is wrong with this country? These elected officials with this power need to stop playing games. Now, the president need to gas up the jet, and he can afford the gas too, by the way. Can't nobody else afford the damn gas, but he can afford the gas. It's on a taxpayer's dime, and go all over this country and put the gun lobby and these gun manufacturers on notice that we're not playing no many games.
But he won't. And the Republicans, in power won't do anything.
They're useless. So people got to pour out to the streets, Charlie. That's the only thing that's left.
Will that do anything?
That's the only thing that's
pouring
left.
out to the streets. Didn't we do that already?
We got to put the kind of requisite... See, there must be a demand made, and there must be consequences for those demands. These people, even if we like them... See, some people like the rhetoric, but they don't want results.
Right.
See, the rhetoric that some of these politicians are pushing off is bullshit. We need some real results, so there needs to be a consequence, Charlie.
Well, did you see that Beto stood up against Abbott? Like, is that effective? Like, what is effective?
Listen, some of that stuff is theater.
Yeah.
Because we've been here before.
Yes.
Now, don't get me wrong. Because Shakespeare said all the world is a stage. So I get that. I'm not saying that Beto was not genuine, but the people of the United States of America, and this message I really want to give to the mamas.
Please.
Mamas, it's time for mamas to unite. Mamas in rural areas, mamas in urban areas, and mamas in suburban areas. And let them know we're not playing this game. And whether you are a birth mama or you got a mama spirit, if the mamas get together, we shut this whole thing down. Charlie, that is what's going to have to happen.
Now,
I'm tired of these politicians with power acting like they ain't got
shutting down part.
But first, a quick story to tell you about the great state of Colorado, one of the leading candidates for the Republican nomination for governor in that state, is former Colorado Mayor Greg Lopez. Like so many other Republican candidates for statewide office this year, Greg Lopez is an election denier, but when it comes to undermining democracy, Lopez wants to do a lot more than just question the results of past elections. Today,
I just wanted to see what these Republican women are like, and it's fucking pathetic, man. Where's the center?
Denver 9 News' Kyle Clark was first to report that Greg Lopez has a new plan to stop counting all votes equally and do away with the popular vote in Colorado. Under Lopez's plan, Colorado would develop its own state-level electoral college, giving more power to rural conservative voters and less power to urban and suburban Coloradans under the guise of counting votes based on turnout.
So I have a question for you, chat. What's the difference between that and the Electoral College as a whole? If rural Montanans are more important than Californians, then why aren't rural Coloradans more important than Denverites or whatever they're fucking called? Like, why not? Why do we have voting? Why do we have popular votes in states? That doesn't make any sense. Either rural voters are smarter and wiser and more important and more powerful, or they're not. Let's be consistent.
I want to play a clip from you of a speech that Stacey Abrams gave at a
Here's Denver 9 News' Kyle Clark.
Democratic Governor Jared Polis's 10 percentage point win in 2018, it would turn into a blowout Republican victory under Lopez's plan, a 28-point shift toward Republicans, so long as you don't count each vote equally.
So long as you don't count each vote equally. U.S. states are supposed to be laboratories of democracy, but if election-denying Republicans win power this November, they may quickly become laboratories of autocracy.
One of the reasons why America is such a basket case is because it's not democratic. Every problem that you see, I tweeted something just now, and I said, it's embarrassing how easy America's problems are to solve. Oh, sorry, how comically easy. What are the problems that you think are hard, that are real scratchers going on right now in America? They're not hard. We have the solution. We have the resources. It's comically easy. We know the policy solutions to almost every major problem, from medical system to student loan debt and college and education to our energy system, to gun violence, to drug addiction. These are easy, folks. These are easy problems. They're not tough. They're easy, actually. What's tough is getting this fucking sclerotic system to do anything, because it's now been engineered with as many veto points as possible. The problem isn't how do we solve housing? We know how you solve housing. When you have a housing shortage, you do what? That's right. Build housing. Public and social housing. How have they solved housing issues in every country in the world in the past? They built a bunch of fucking houses. They built a bunch of apartments. They built a bunch of places for people to live, and they charged rent based on what the maintenance for the building would cost, as opposed to some sort of financial return for an investor. I live in New Jersey, and absolutely no one in my workplace of 30 people seemed remotely bothered by the Uvalde massacre. The U.S. is shit. Well, what are they going to do? I mean, medical care, we would save $500 billion a year if we had single-payer health care. Our country would save $500 billion. That's not according to me. That's according to the Congressional Budget Office, the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office. $350 billion according to Yale epidemiologists, while also improving health outcomes. All of this stuff is fucking easy, dude. But why can't we do it? Because we have an anti-democratic system, and people like this guy are in power. This is his solution. And you want to know the solution to mass shootings? Australian style, Japanese style, British style gun control. That means registration. That means mandatory buybacks. That means restrictions on the sale of entire weapon categories and types, and restrictions on who can purchase them to licensed only users. Not difficult. It's very fucking easy to do. Not that hard to set these programs up. Is it going to cause complete zeroing out of this overnight? No. But over time, you strangle the availability of weapons, you purchase them, and then you slowly withdraw their legality. Most people just follow the rules. That's why most people don't have automatic weapons, chat. They don't have automatic weapons because automatic weapons are not allowed. So nobody buys them. How do you feel about leftists saying that more gun regulations make it harder for poor and POC to get guns? It's harder for everyone to get guns. Good. I also want to disarm the police. You want to solve police shootings? You disarm police. Again, comically easy problem to solve. You have an obligation to like, comment, and subscribe.